Alright guys, thanks for tuning in iCupTV. You'll be your epic and awesomely fun and entertaining and spontaneous caster Fitz here. Now you guys are tuning in iCup Clan League Season 20, week number 4 between SAS versus very talented veterans here so far. And this is going to be series number 2, game number 3 so far. You know, SAS did win the first series, the 2v2 series. And so far the series is tied up, so this is the deciding factor in this series. And we're gonna in this series between the purple Zerg Ace here competing for SAS here, and the white Zerg very talented veteran Stroke here. And whoever wins this game will get their one more win in between this matchup between the clans for one more point in this whole series. So in the whole matchup, excuse me. So without further ado, the map is going to be GALA, or G-A-I-A. And this map reminds me of God's Garden in a way. It's relentless to take expands, and we're not going to, I would not see how we're going to be seeing the macro hatch on the natural, because look at this. It's so far away, you have to go around, up, and down, and then put your macro hatch here. Look how big this choke is. Look how big that choke is. You have to hold that off with, look, like your arc would be like this big of lings. Not possible. Your third is way too open as well. Right out here. Too impossible. No gas, which would be the whole reason why you take the macro hatch. And every other base is nearly impossible to take because it's all open. Like, and also, I also want to point out though, only main bases and nationals have gas. So you only have 8 bases in a whole map that have gas. I'm sorry my voice is actually cracking in and out. I've been screaming so loud. And I also want to quickly mention though, real quick, that what I was trying to say though is that series number 1 went to now I'm stumbling upon my words again. Went to SAS here, and then this series number 2 is tied. So we're gonna see if vTv or SAS is gonna be able to get a victory here. But we're gonna be seeing gas opening for both players right here. And are we actually gonna see a macro hatch coming out of Ace here? Oh wow, he's actually gonna go for it. I'm surprised. I mean, is this? I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah. I mean, look how big the difference this base is. I mean, you have to go all the way around, down, up for Stroke here, and he doesn't have to do. Actually, I mean, no, he doesn't even have to do the same for his base, which is very bizarre, huh? Very, very interesting. I guess the bottom left-hand expansion is actually in a disadvantage to take their national faster, as it just takes so much longer. So, actually, in a way, Stroke, by this map positioning, is actually in a much disadvantaged position here, because he actually is really not reasonable to take a macro hatch opening. But here we go. Here come the links. We're seeing the exact same thing we saw in game number 2, but he's going to be bringing drones and links here to help defend this. He's going to be losing mining time. And especially with this scenario where he only has four guys on mining minerals, he's actually going to be losing a lot. He's not utilizing them. He's taking a lot of heavy fire from that hatchery though, but I think it'll be okay though. And we will be seeing Stroke continue to reinforce this push right here. Now, will be enough to break down this hatchery though. It will be, we'll see though, because he has these 4 drones, so he has to make this cost effective. If this hatchery goes down, it pretty much means that Ace pretty much lost his series down, because he's running all these drones. There will be enough though. Will the drones have enough DPS? He didn't even lose a single drone from this engagement, and he's gonna be okay. That back hatch will go up, and he will be able to put down a creep colony. And I don't really see how any kind of early game aggression is really gonna help. Also, keep in mind, this pressure is actually at a disadvantage as well, because it's to go all the way up, down this ramp, all the way up, and through that ramp right there, which in a way that should put him in a way disadvantage position here. But is this gonna actually be more of a disadvantage for having his macro hatch? As we're gonna say, continued aggression for coming from Stroke here. Is he just going to continue going for Zerglings? It looks like he is not. He's going to be getting up his Spire, and we didn't even see the Spire coming out quite yet, coming out of Ace here, and he's so preoccupied defending, he's going to have to put down the Evo Chamber. That's the only ability he can, and I've seen, at least in 2v2s, what oftentimes happens is in a scenario where the Zerg doesn't have their Spire up, what happens is they can even put up 3 or 4 Explore colonies, but if Stroke's able to get up enough, Muta up, it actually ends up being really difficult, because they can just go in here, they father all their Muta, but they kill off the entire mineral line of their opponent, and then what can they do? They can't produce any drones, or if they can produce like 1 at a time, because they have 50 minerals, because they spent so much on them. It's such a low economy game. I mean, macro is very easy. I mean, you'll see these players rarely ever go over 600 unless almost say how the macro hatch, like we're seeing for Ace here, where he might be, you know, floating a little high because he might want to get, you know, make 6 Mutalisks as fast as possible. We're seeing contain from both players right here, but I mean, Stroke can't lose at this one time. He just has too many lings right now. And actually using all of his larvae right now, instead of producing more, he's using his larvae for lings right now, but he probably needs to do that though. But it's actually a better concave for Ace there, actually, for any. I'm surprised he actually went down there. I'm not sure. I'm surprised he doesn't hold position here, and he's getting in a worse position there. Oh my goodness! I think Stroke may have just lost the. Well, it's gonna be a hard position here because he doesn't have the. He doesn't have the Zergling numbers, and the problem is, I mean, we can see continued production of lings here. If he wants to go for a ling bust, he can. He has the macro hatch to do so. And he's gonna have to push back here. And does he have speed? Both of them do have speed, though. But he will have Mutalisks, so he'll be. I feel like he's okay, but he just wants to be careful because these Mutalisks are going to have to be on defensive purposes right now, and he really can't do much, and which is just giving Ace more time, and it's actually what he needs to be doing because he needs to get that Spire, that layer up, which he's not doing. He needs to get that layer up as fast as possible, but he's not doing it. And he's not using the whole reason why you take an expand is to get the gas. That's why you do it in ZBZ. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, in ZBZ, the only reason why you take an expand here is not for an extra mineral intake, because saturate. If all these drones were over here on the main base, you'd have a fully saturated base, so it wouldn't even matter. You get the same economy, and you put this down here to get the extra gas from Mutalisks, but he's not. He's finally starting to layer, which is so delayed right here. But we're gonna be seeing Stroke will be getting his own base right here, but will Stroke be okay? I mean, Ace is so far behind in tech. And if he just continues to produce not drones, but more Mutalisks, he could probably break through this. I feel like he's in the position where Ace is continuing to drone, where he's getting very, very greedy, which can pay off for sure. But I mean, we need to see something coming out of Stroke here. He has that one base play. He needs to do something with it. I mean, that's what we saw game 1. He went for it, but he lost so much aggression. So, I mean, his early game pressure is not super good when there's mute on Mutalisks, but he doesn't have Mutalisks, so he's gonna be okay. But I mean, this is getting a little ridiculous here. He's spending so much on spore colonies. There's actually really no beneficial, cost-effective way to actually engage this. He might be better off just taking another expand, in my opinion. But I mean, again, he has to watch out for ling run-bys. Because do you see how open this map is, people? Like, you can't wall it off. Like they even have this non-buildable area over here, which means you can't even build stuff. So, in that regards, you can't do anything. So, are we seeing any upgrades? Yes, we're seeing +1 Carapace. This is what we needed to see in the past 2 games by either player. That is going to play such a big difference when the Muta-on-Muta battles happen. Because it's just now that Waveworm's doing at least -1 or at least -2. Which, especially when they're constantly bouncing off each other, that plays such a big difference in the Muta-on-Muta battles. And, I mean, it's just that much more important there. Now, keep in mind, Stroke's down have a much less economy, but I've seen upgrades play a substantial difference, even with Muta numbers. Sometimes upgrades just completely overwhelm. And, I mean, I've seen 2v2, I've seen the 1v1, it just happens. But there's gonna be, it looks like a ling pressure coming out very, very shortly from Ace here. Now, will it do enough damage? I mean, this map is so... this spawn location for Stroke is absolutely god-awful. Like, this map really shouldn't be actually used. Because look how big this area is. He can't wall it off. And, I mean, he's gonna have Mutalisks here, so he should be okay. But he's gonna be taking some harassing right here. But he should have more than enough Mutalisks to clean this up, eventually speaking here. And getting up another macro hatch coming out of Ace right here. So that that Zergling run by did about 2 drone kills right there. So definitely, I mean, in that regards, it's probably not the worst ability, especially in Zerg versus Zerg. He's going in for another round here. He's getting up his own 3 Mutalisks here. He's getting +1 Carapace of his own, but he hasn't seen the +1 Carapace of Stroke here because it hasn't been fully researched yet, and he can't tell that Spire. You think something's researching out the Spire as the sprite for it doesn't actually change. So, getting up a Scourge right here, and I mean, this is going to be the end of at the end of the day, though. I mean, Ace is going to be in a better position. I mean, when I more think about it, because the problem is, okay, Muta-on-Muta battle, I mean, Muta versus Ling battle, might get 1 or 2 drone kills. 2, bro. Looks like 2 have been nope. Well, no, maybe 3 actually. He got 3. He got 3 drone kills. I couldn't see the second one, but got 3 drone kills. But at the end of the day here, what we're gonna be seeing here is that we're seeing more gas, which means more Scourge, which means more Scourge means, and we've seen Stroke, I mean, versus Mutalisk, I mean, Scourge really does have the best ability. I mean, it's hard to tell because game 2 he Scourge dodged almost impossibly effectively. Game number 2, I mean game 1, he was stupid and completely just neglected any kind of micro, or he didn't have the micro to do it. I don't know what happened between game 1, game 2, but somehow it made such a big difference here. But he does have this timing window where he does have +1 carapace with his Scourge as well, which means he could go in and do a lot of damage. But keep in mind, he does have a good amount of Scourge himself. He has a good amount of Mutaflop, and he has these. He's on his home turf, which means he has the Spore Colonies both at his main base and at his natural. And I mean, Stroke's gonna have a very, very difficult time breaking through this. He might, I mean, might be better off transitioning into Ling. I mean, because Ling, yeah, Ling's probably the best thing, but he can't afford it. I mean, the saturation of the natural and the main is laughable compared to what the insane macro capabilities of Ace has. He's gotten away with getting macro. Actually, Strokes hasn't done anything wrong with his build order. He hasn't been active with his units. He's been on a defensive position, which I mean, look how many muta that is. That's like at least 2 control groups compared to this. Yeah, I mean, this is like, I don't see how this is gonna work, but we'll see how the battle's gonna commence. So maybe that +1 carapace will kick in, but I mean, maybe it's not gonna even matter because he's waiting for his own +1, and he's not getting +2 carapace. He can't afford it, so he's gonna have to come down to the Scourge for sure. But I mean, we're seeing such a wide spread on the Scourge here. Now, last game when Ace did this, it didn't really work out effectively because they weren't all together. However, if it gets away with that, he's getting control groups. He's getting a very nice sprint. Here we go. Ace is going to be bringing up all the Scourge. Will the Scourge all connect, though? Will they all connect, though? A lot of Scourge are going to be connecting. Oh, they all connect in. Oh, and Stroke's army 37 to minus 69. And I do not see how Stroke can come back from this. That is too many meter. That is too many lings. And Stroke is completely just lost his game right here. There's the GG. Very talented veterans has lost series number 2, which means we're going to be seeing very talented veterans, at a deficit of 2-0 in this series so far. So we're going on to series number 3, but I mean, very talented veterans is not looking too strong in the series here. But this series has been chosen for its goodness, so we'll see how well it's actually going to play out. I do not know. I do not know how any of the replays come out because this is the benefit of me not gathering the replays, people. And oh my goodness, But so I think one of the main issues that we saw was, like I was saying, Stroke had an advantage, and he didn't use it. He could have droned, he didn't drone. He could have attacked, he didn't attack. He just was he was too passive at ZVZ, and in Zerg versus Zerg, you really can't be passive. Unless you're macroing efficiently, exactly what Ace is doing. I mean, but even we saw Ace, he was putting on link pressure. I mean, not to say that it was super effective link pressure, maybe 2 or 3 drones there, but I mean, if that's effective in the regard versus Stroke, because he's not droning at all. 2 or 3 drones there. I mean, he would only have 3 or 4 drones at that natural anyway, and he wasn't, and that's pretty much all he had there, and he kept on losing those. So I mean, at that point in time, he would only restock those drones when he lost them. So I mean, in that regard, he never had a macro efficiency of Ace. I mean, if you even go to resources here, I mean, look at Ace's score right here. I mean, it's laughably good. I mean, we're only seeing 1,300 score compared to 8,000 score for Stroke. I mean, that's a 5K score difference. Total spent, 4K difference. Minerals mined, 4K difference. Gas mined, about a 1.2K difference. So you're seeing such a big difference there. And that's where, again, we saw the fast expand go on. Every single time when we saw that fast expand, it's worked out more advantageous than that one base. However, though, we want to acknowledge the fact that Stroke was in a bad position to begin with. That location should not be spawn location, in my opinion. That map is complete, at least in terms of ZVZ, is nearly impossible. Your natural's way too open. It's too far to take in a fast expand on, and it's just too hard to wall off in any other matchup. It's literally impossible. And from that regards, I think Stroke was at a disadvantage, and I don't think that was the correct map to play on. However, we did play on it, and he did play the correct way. He couldn't fast expand on the map. He would be too open. He's too vulnerable. He would lose too much mining time. I mean, what we saw from Ace there, where he pulled off the 4 drones, is that, I mean, that distance to go from point A to point B to point A from his main base to the natural was much less than the distance from Stroke's main to his natural. He had to go like up on the high ground, down that ramp that was going like southward, then come back and around across that into the natural. Like, that is way too much time. Okay, and from that point of view, it's just way too. It's not a good, in my position, a good map for that location. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Anyway, guys, have a great day, and we'll go on to get series number 3. Guys, thanks for watching. Like Up TV, peace.